And if I had to tell you why, no longer will I cry when fake friends say bye-bye. Y'all know about Hezekiah Walker? Sleep. Sleep. When Shorty say, no longer do I cry when fake friends tell me bye. I remember when I first heard this song, it was probably like back in, this was like either 2018, I want to say, like 2017, 2018, one of those years. I know it was actually during a time when I started losing a lot of friends. A lot of people I had known since I was like in high school, grammar school, all of that. Like, that was just a crazy season. I wasn't just losing friends, y'all. I was losing family as well. Like, not like death, if anyone is thinking that, like losing. When I say losing, like, people just didn't want to mess with me no more. Like, it was just a really hard time that I went through. I felt like I'm still healing from a lot of that trauma. Y'all, I literally have to pick myself up every day from not thinking like crazy thoughts. When I tell y'all, the past 31 years of my life, I'm not even 31 yet, I'm about to be 31, but the past 30 years of my life have been not the best. I would say, honestly, since my son's been born, this is probably the most happiest I've ever been. Probably, yeah, the happiest I've ever been in my life. So, prior to my son, trash. Straight trash. Literally, I've been stressed out my entire life. It's crazy. So crazy. And it's crazy I'm even feeling compelled to even just talk about this right now. And don't get me wrong, like, I don't feel uncomfortable telling my truth, telling my story. None of that. I feel like me just telling my story gives others courage to speak up or just stand up for themselves and not let anybody mistreat you. And the reason why I said my life was so stressed out, while my life was so stressful, was because I grew up in a very abusive household. Like, it was abuse. If not every day, every other day. Every other day. One of the days throughout the week, it was something that was going to happen. And I never realized how much drama my life was. Like, having parents that were young and not even using that as an excuse, but having parents who were not ready to be parents, and then having parents who really didn't even want to be parents, you know? Like, that's like probably the hardest thing, I think. I wouldn't even say the hardest, but one of the hardest things I've had to deal with. So just knowing that you're not loved really by your parents is like the worst feeling in the world, man. Like, I chuckle, I giggle, but really, like, that shit hurts. It hurts. And it's now been going on like 3 years. 2021, 22. 20, 21, 22. No, almost 4 years. No, is it 4 years? 20, 21, 22, 23. 4 years, yeah. It's been 4 years since I've seen my father or even talked to him. And then it's been a few months since I talked to my mother, but I haven't had a relationship, honestly, with her since like 4 years. And even prior to that, once I graduated from high school, I went away to school. Not even really away. I went 45 minutes away from the house, which sucked. I should have went further away because it was still just too close. But after that, I just really didn't want anything to do with them. Like, I tried to, have that relationship because, like, who don't want a relationship? But I should have never tried. I felt like the child shouldn't have to try. Like, Classic would never have to try to have a relationship with me. You know what I mean? Like, I just think that sounds insane. Like, unless, you gave your kid up for adoption or something like that, and then they trying to reconnect. So, yeah, you trying to have a relationship with your parent. But, no, I know my parents since I was born, lived with them, like, had a 2-parent household. Not until, though, I was like, I think I was like 9, either 8 or 9. I was about 8. 8 when the first time I lived with both my parents at the same time. And prior to that, like, not living with both of them was probably a little bit peaceful, but my stress would come into play whenever I had to be around my dad. Like, I did not feel comfortable around him ever. Since the day I was born, I know deep in my soul for a fact I never felt comfortable around him, y'all. Like, it's just crazy how, just remembering as a kid, like, I never felt safe, comfortable, no nothing. Like, it was just not a good feeling. And so it's just really hard each day just trying to encourage myself and uplift myself because of the fact that I've tried on multiple occasions to have a relationship with them, and it always slapped me in the face. Like, biggest regret. And when the last time I tried to have a relationship with them, like 4 or 5 years ago, literally, like, changed my life. And it's so crazy that, like, just thinking about everything, the fact that it's 4 years, like, 4 years since that tragic incident happened. Wow, I didn't even realize that. Like, that's crazy. So the fact that I'm still healing from that and just healing from my whole upbringing and me just healing, like, not dealing with family at all. Literally, I only talked to one cousin. No, 2 cousins, I'm sorry. I talked to 2 cousins. One on my dad's side and one on my mama's side. And that's it. Like, I just don't want anything to do with anyone else. Like, I really don't. And my cousin on my mom's side texted me like, hey, your mom, she feels like you should know, blah, blah, blah. Because, obviously, my cousin's going to have a relationship with her because that's her auntie. And that used to upset me, y'all. Like, that used to really, really, really bother me. But I've gotten to a place of, like, it's nothing I can do. Like, it is what it is. I can't change the fact, like, that's her auntie. They got their own relationship. But whatever. But she called me like, I don't know if you know or whatever, but your uncle died. Which isn't even my blood uncle. It's like, it's really my half auntie husband or whatever. And, like, I've known him obviously my whole life since I was a kid, but I said, oh, like, I said, Ashley. Yeah, Ashley, she don't care. Ashley, why are you telling me this? She was like, well, I just didn't know. Your mom felt like you should know. And I'm just like, okay. And then I just so happened to talk to my other cousin, like, the other day. Because, mind you, when my cousin Ashley told me this was, like, weeks ago. And so I talked to my other cousin the other day. And she was like, girl, you heard such and such died? And my response was, oh, AW, ... And she just like, girl, I could not stand you. But I'm just like, let's be real. None of these people would give a fuck about me if I died. You know what I mean? Like, it's just, why should I care? Why? Why should I care? Am I supposed to shed a tear? Like, Oh, I don't care. Like, I'm just at a point in my life, like, literally, family, blood family, y'all can't ask me for nothing. Like, I can't, don't talk to me, don't post nothing to me. Like, don't try to fake support me. Like, none of that. Like, keep it. Keep it. And I mean that from the bottom of my heart. Like, I'm saying this, like, because I mean it. It's crazy how literally my family has been my biggest haters. My family was literally the most negative, toxic people in my life. And I'm literally just now getting to a place of like letting that shit go. Like, I just can't even pretend that like I'm cool with something. Like, if it's some wild shit that happened in the family, I'm not gonna act like that didn't happen. Like, it's crazy that family do, like, my family do not stick up for each other. Like, it's mind blowing. Like, really fucking mind blowing. Y'all, I'm spitting. That's how passionate I am. Like, I was watching Star. I don't know if y'all know what that is, but Star with Queen Latifah, Ryan Destiny. I don't know the white girl Star. I don't know her real name, but she cold, and Brandy in it. But it was a scene. Basically, Queen Latifah had got raped by her stepdaddy, right? And her mom, who was played by Patti LaBelle, her mama, you know, tried to act like she didn't know about it or whatever. And, you know, Queen Latifah pretty much let it go, really didn't deal with it. And come to find out, when her stepdaddy raped her, she ended up having a baby and gave the baby to one of the aunties or whoever in the family. And, you know, all these years later, she found out that was her son. Like, because her stepdaddy told her, you know, the baby didn't make it or whatever. So the whole time, who she think is her cousin or whatever was really her son. And what's even more crazy was that Brandy was Queen Latifah's sister, and she always felt like her dad was giving Queen Latifah like special treatment. But Queen Latifah was like, girl, he was raping me. Like, that's why I didn't want you to come. That's why I was protecting you and, you know, doing what I had to do, basically. And she was like, what? And she's like, mama, did you ever tell mama type or whatever? And she was like, she knew. She knew, but of course she trying to act like, you know, she didn't know about it. So when Queen Latifah finally confronted her mama again about it all these years later, of course, mama acting like, you know, she tripping. Why you lying? Your daddy just died. Blah, blah, blah. Or whatever. And Queen Latifah like, mama, he raped me. And it's just like, Patti LaBelle, her mama, just couldn't even be there for her child. And I think that's so insane. Like, how is it that you just protect this man so much for whatever reason, and you disregard the hurt and harm that this man has done to your child? Like, it's crazy to me. And bro, it's so many people like that in my family. Like, why is it that the older black woman generation, like, y'all just really ignore abuse? Like, it's crazy to me. Y'all act like it didn't happen. Then you get mad at the child for standing up for themselves or speaking on it. And then when the child do speak on it and open up and tell their story, you know, looking for help or whatever the case may be, you say to the child, what happens in the home is supposed to stay in the home. You don't need to let everybody know your business. Blah, 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 blah. But it's just like, so I'm not supposed to tell nobody that beat my ass. But what the kicker is, I got my ass beat in front of the entire family. It's just crazy, y'all. I can't even go into full details right now because I'm going to start crying. And remember, I'm taking my test, and it's just so crazy how this is just coming over me. It's just so many different things. Like, what I went through growing up and even in my adulthood has really been traumatizing for me. And just having the mind set and just the strength and the courage to keep going and not let that stuff dim my light is so hard. And that's why I really want to make it a point and a goal for myself to do what it is I want to do. And don't let them haters, fake friends, get in my head. Like, literally just do what it is I want to do. Know that I am the shit. Know that I can do it. There's no doubt that I can do it. Know that God is always by my side and God will always see me through. And just to let all that pain go. I'm really learning to just trying to get all the hatred and everything out of me towards these people. So that's a little vent session that I have. And y'all, I got like another hour before this test. Not even. I got like 45 minutes. And I'm gonna try to get back in the zone, play my gospel again, and get back to it. I'll be back.